Hi, good afternoon everyone. Welcome to the second game here of Chicken Poop Bingo at Fielding. Our first game finished in 34 minutes where we had our first poop from Pecky here. This is our second game, as I mentioned. We're in the chicken coop. You can see there's the hen house, and we're in the coop. You can see all the lines. We've got 144 squares. All have been sold in game 2 as they had in game 1, so thank you everybody for buying your poop squares. There's 2 of us here today, myself, who do a little bit of commentary for you, but also Sam is here. She's got her eagle eye on Pecky's bottom to see if we can spot, because obviously I don't want to be distracted potentially by obviously talking into the camera. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera around so you don't have to look at my face all the time, and we'll get straight into game 2. So the first one was actually up here at the top. In fact, there is the first poop, not far from where Peaky, or Pecky should I say, has been. So that is our first poop. That was from game 1. We're on game 2 now. And this is our beautiful chicken, who's going to be continuing to play this for not only this game, but the next 2 games after this as well. If you don't know the rules, basically, as I say, we had 144 squares all marked out here, and each of them have been sold. I've got the game sheet here of all who has bought each of those squares. So we're currently game 2, so we're currently up in row 7. So we've got Miss Joanna Margaret Peggy, we're currently up there, and we're very, very close to Poppy Chadburn's square as well. I might read these names out, but it might be these squares belong to the whole family. It might be individual pupils within that family, which we might check later. But yeah, so what we'll do is we'll follow Pecky here over the course of an hour. Each game is an hour long. If Pecky here doesn't poop in that hour, then that game will finish and there won't be a winner. But we were lucky the first time round. We had 34 minutes and she had a poop. She has been eating away while we've been filming through game 1. And through that game, she seems to spend most of her time in this top corner. Sorry, the top edge. I think these were some of the last squares to get sold. I think people, as I mentioned, if you were watching on game 1, most people were buying the squares that were more towards the middle and maybe around the hen house. That's where my squares were. I was fully expecting her to be sat on the top of the hen house, but no, she is down at the back there. And so what we've done here, just to give you a bit of background, we've got the squares all marked out. I've got them numbered just really for my reference, so that I can follow them on this plan that I've got with everyone's square. So this is just a reminder, this is game 2 that we're into, and just helps me understand who's in which square. Say she's down at the back at the top edge, so she's currently on the borders of as I say, Poppy Chadburn's and Joanne Margaret Peggy's square. She's sort of sitting just down at the back. But yeah, we're in the chicken coop here at Fielding. It's just been recently cleared by not only some parents in 3S, thank you very much for helping us clear that last weekend on Father's Day, but also the children who have come in for their gardening and cooking lessons. They've been gradually clearing away all of the stuff, because it's been empty this chicken coop has been empty for a good 8 months now. Sadly, the chickens that we had in here for 4 years, unfortunately the foxes, or a fox, managed to make his way in to the coop, and unfortunately the chickens didn't survive. So But we've got some new chickens on the way. They've been hatched in reception, so if anyone's watching from reception, you'll know that you've got, I think there's 4 chickens, 4 females, and they will be making their way into this chicken coop in the coming weeks. And if you're interested, over the summer holidays, you'll be able to look after and come in and check on the chickens, feed them. We're always looking for volunteers to help. There's often quite a big demand to look after the chickens for a week. It's a lovely, fun job. It's great that the kids from across the school can come in and feed the chickens. Don't know at what age it is that they can start laying eggs, but you'll be able to take the eggs home as well. So we're just in the back corner. She's pulling apart the all the soil that's currently by the paving slabs that are down here. But she hasn't really moved from the squares when we started this game. We started this game at probably around just before 1:45. So this is game 2 of Chicken Poop Bingo here at Fielding. Thanks to everyone that's bought poop squares. We've sold over 600 squares for this game. We've raised over £1,500 just on this Poop Bingo alone, which is fantastic work, and the money will go a long way to helping fund the activities that we do here at the school. That includes the kitchen garden and all the great work that happens here. The pupils get one day a term where they get to come out here, understand what goes on growing the vegetables and fruit, and then going on to cook with it. But yeah, it's great that we've got chickens back in the coop as well, because they were much loved. If you were watching game 1, you'll know that the chickens that we've had for 4 years, that were hatched in RS 4 years ago, they actually made it back onto national TV. They were on the BBC. Let's see whether we get anything else. If you are just tuning in, this Chicken Poop Bingo is taking place on what would have been our summer fair. Sadly, the restrictions have put pay to large gatherings, so we've sort of streamed things back. It's great that we've been able to continue to run Chicken Poop Bingo, and thanks to everyone in 3S who's helping to cover that. I've got Sam here in the background, also keeping a good eye on whether Pecky here is going to be pooping, because you probably think, well, this feed at the moment I'm in the corner and I'm not going to see whether she poops or not, but Sam is keeping an eagle eye, and then we've got a couple of other parents from 3S coming in to help watch to see where she's going to poop. But she's certainly making a right mess at the moment down there. But yeah, if you are just joining us, we have got a couple of other activities for the summer fair happening today. So if you're in the market for second-hand uniform or second-hand games, then those stalls will be open in the Year 3 playground. So come in through the main Wyndham Road entrance, and the clothes are laid out by year group. Cash or card, we've got card machines here if you haven't got any cash on you. For those at the school, thank you very much for all your donations and purchasing of raffle tickets as well. I understand that we might have raised about £5,000 just on the raffle tickets alone, which is an incredible amount. If that is true, that will be the record amount of money that we've raised from a raffle. I think our best record was at Christmas time, and I think that was about 3,500, so we've done a lot better. And thank you to all of the local businesses that have donated prizes to that raffle, and to a dad in 3S, who works for Apple and has managed to secure us our two main prizes, which were for a Mac and Apple headphones. Wonderful prizes. So we'll be doing that live through Facebook Live as well. We'll be doing that with the headmaster, Mr. Dunmold, on Monday. I'm streaming that live. Don't have the exact time yet, but we'll get that published as soon as we can. Parents are busily folding those raffle tickets at the moment, ready to go into the raffle bin. I'm going to try and move around and see if she can get a bit of a close-up. Get a wider view here of the game here in the chicken coop. She certainly likes it in this top corner. I said this in the first game, that these were some of the last squares to be purchased. I think people weren't necessarily expecting her to be just on the outer edges. So we're currently still in, actually we're back in actually no, we've got a new game. It's not the new game, so we're on I think it's number 7. So we're in Joanna Margaret Peggy's square. She's been in here for quite some time, and you'll see she's staying very close to where she pooped in the first game. That's the poop that won the first game, which was about 20 minutes ago. That was the first game. We're on the second game now. There's a bit of a close-up of her backside. That's where we're looking for the poop to come out from. We get a nice close-up of Pecky here. Thank you again to Cully family who lent us Pecky. I think she's a very healthy chicken that lays an egg a day for them. It's obviously slightly unfamiliar surroundings for her. She's normally back at home, and but I think we're now moved over into Poppy Chadburn's square. Now then, I know before the game I did put feed everywhere all around, so that there was no preference about being in one particular square where all the pile of feed was. She's certainly going nowhere near where my squares were. My squares were on top of the coop. I was half expecting her to be up on the top, wanting to look out and see what else was going on. So she is moving. It's the first time she's moved down towards this area, I must say. So she's... What column are we in there, Sam?
4.
4. Okay, so we're in 4 and row 4 as well. So that is Polly Foley's square. Thank you, Polly. I know you had squares in game 1 as well, and she wasn't. That was at the top corner, but she's back in your square again. If you're watching, I know Dan, you'll be the husband. You'll be down here helping out, watching Pecky pooping later on, taking over from Sam. But she's certainly well and truly planted down there. She's probably enjoying finding somewhere new to have a look at. We haven't opened the hen house, so she can't hide away in there, but she can jump on top. She can also jump on top of this run that takes her up onto the top here, but she's not been interested in doing that. She's more interested in having a dig around. If anyone's interested, the spray paint that we use is all environmentally friendly. Perfectly okay for Pecky here to be pecking away. Now, let's see. So we're on game 2. Let's see if I can find some more interesting facts about chickens. If anyone's got any facts that they want to do, if they've got any jokes, then do put them through. It's a live feed, but you can comment, you can like, you can put any facial expressions you like on this feed. So do get involved, and I'll see if I can bring up any of the bits as they come online. Now, some interesting facts. The longest chicken, the oldest chicken to stay alive, was a chicken called Matilda, who lived to 16 years old. And that's twice the average age of a normal chicken. 16 years old, that's long, isn't it, for a chicken? I wonder how many eggs you lay if you've been around for 16 years. So chickens are omnivores, and so when a chicken, they can eat their own raw eggs if they're not satisfied with their diet. I didn't know that. And a chicken's heart beats at somewhere between 220 and 360 beats per minute. That seems a bit insane, doesn't it? I think my heart rate at the moment is down in the 50s. Dread to think what I'd be like if my heart rate was going at 360 beats a minute. So it's the first time she's been down in this corner of the game, and she's currently in column 2, and that's row 6. She's currently in Louise Tails square. Leslie Young is around here as well, and we've got Kelly Hurst square down here, Jennifer Feces down here as well, so lots in there. We're about 15, just over 15 minutes into game 2. We've got the first poop came through at 34 minutes into the first game, so we'll see. But certainly in this time she's certainly having a good feed on stuff. Here's another unusual fact, that mother hens talk to their chickens while they're still in the eggs, and the chickens can chirp back as well while they're in the shell. Having not reared chickens, that wouldn't necessarily surprise me, but I wouldn't mind hearing a chicken chirp back who was still in its egg. Some other interesting facts. In order to attract hens, roosters will do a dance called tit-bitting, which involves moving their heads up and down and waddling around and making certain sounds. So that's how the rooster woos his hens. So here's the fact that probably came back to what I was questioning earlier about whether we would see Pecky here lay an egg in a square. It seems unlikely, because I have just read that most eggs are laid in the morning between 7 AM and 11 AM. That was before Pecky had arrived. Oh, we've just switched around. How do we move that back again? There we go. Don't want to see my face. There we go. So, yeah, I think we would have to put out a special prize if Pecky here did lay an egg in one of the squares. I think that might have to go down as on top of the poop. That would be a big bingo winner. Even more impressive if it was a golden egg. Have you got a golden egg in there, Pecky? I was also reading, we've got a great view of Pecky's beak. Apparently the beaks can actually bleed. So if they bang their keep on pecking away at something that's a bit more solid, then they can get injured. But she's having a go at just eating the grass here. If you hadn't joined us at game 1, this is game 2. It's very relaxing here down in the chicken coop of the kitchen garden here at Fielding. Nice and warm. You might be able to hear the sound of the birds tweeting just in the background here. Hopefully we'll get back to the stage where when the new chicks from that have been born in reception, they'll be in here and we'll be able to get eggs on a weekly basis. I think we were getting about 24 eggs a week, selling those at the cake sales every Friday. They were also being used by the kitchen and in the cooking and gardening and cooking lessons. So always in demand. So, where are we on the playing field? We've not been up round here before. So certainly, she never came up here through game 1. So we're currently in 1, 2, 3. So we're in Fiona Hyo's, and if she moved over 1 square, she'd be in Jackie Green's. She's got a couple of squares around here. But yeah, Fiona, I know you had some squares. If you are watching, I know you had squares in game 1 as well, and Pecky was sitting around there, your squares in the first game, and she's now sitting in your squares in this second game as well, in a completely different part of the course. She's certainly spending most of her time in the outer areas. That's good Poop Bingo knowledge for the next time we play. When we played at Christmas with the reindeer, they also seemed to want to spend quite a bit of time at the edge. I think they were keen on, because we had children coming out, they were quite keen to engage with the reindeer. We had 2 reindeer that day when we ran that at Christmas. We followed 1 reindeer. The reindeers they have to come in pairs because they're herd animals. They really need to be working together. But with chickens, we've just got the 1 chicken today. We didn't need 2. And as I say, for those that have just joined, we're in game 2. We're about 20 minutes, just over 20 minutes into this second game. We'll play it for an hour, but if she poops before that, then we'll finish the game at that point, and then we'll move on to game 3. We might not be streaming game 3 because the drain on this battery is quite big. So, but we'll have parents here from year 3 eagerly watching, and we'll mark down and announce where Pecky here is pooping. But we wanted to make sure that we got at least 2 games on stream for you. You can watch on demand. Please do comment if you would like to. If you've got any chicken jokes. We're currently down in Louise's Tails Square. She's having a good feed on the around the stinging nettles that are down here. Oh, she's eating a snail. Yeah, she's decided to pull apart the, there we go. Yeah, she's eating the snail. That will be quite good for hoping that she might then poop that out. That was a nice big snail, wasn't it? Don't think there's anything left in there, Pecky. You've eaten it all. See how quickly that comes back out the other way. I'm going to go for a little wander now she's had that snail. As we had said, there is feed all over, spread evenly all over, but she doesn't seem to be interested in the feed. She's quite just happy pecking away at the bits of grass or what have you that we've got here. Now, row hold 4. And we're down, so we're currently down in the realms of Jennifer Vesey and Kelly Hurst. She's sort of got her bottom in Vesey families, and yeah. And then if she moves just into that one, she'll be down towards Louise Taylor's square. If you hadn't joined earlier, then this is the second game of Poop Bingo here at Fielding Primary School, which would have been our summer fair. So the field, which I pan up all over there, would have been filled with stalls, parents, families, all having fun, but we've had to restrict our activities. But we've got Poop Bingo, which we're streaming live, so thanks for watching and for taking part and buying poop squares. If you're interested in second-hand uniform or second-hand games, then we have got those stalls opening at 2 o'clock here at the school. If you want to come in via the main entrance on Wyndham Road, all socially distanced. We'll have marshals in place to make sure that everyone is distant, but the tables will be laid out with clothing by year group to make it easier for you. So if you're on the lookout for clothes for next year's school year, academic year, then do come on down, taking cash and card payment if you don't have any cash at home. As I say, that will be running from 2 till 4 o'clock today, alongside second-hand games, and there is absolutely masses of games out here. So if you're looking to help support the school, then please do come on down. We're really grateful for any money that we can raise from the sale today. Oh, we've had another poop. Yeah, this is why I've got somebody else helping me. Thank you, Sam. There we go. There is our second poop. So game 2, there's the poop that we've got it in there, and let me just have a quick look and see whose role that is. So that is in Pretty Blimoria. So we'll get that. Well done, congratulations. That's £50 for that poop. So that's the end of game 2. And we'll probably not stream game 3 and game 4 because my battery is currently down at 19%, and it takes about 30% battery per game by the looks of it so far. So that's the end of game 2. And that was just coming up to the half-hour mark as well on that game. The first game was 34 minutes long. This second game was just under, I think that was about 27 minutes, 28 minutes long. So we might start to get an idea of how long the next 2 games might take. But we'll get those announced on the Facebook page as soon as they happen, if we don't live stream it. But thanks very much for watching. Do comment, let us know if you like the idea of us running Chicken Poop Bingo again at next year's summer fair. We might have more chickens by then. We might have to keep them all out because it might be a bit more difficult to follow. But if you like this game, do like us, comment on this post, and we'll get the announcements of games 3 and 4 coming up shortly.